Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to CEC28 business meeting for April 1st, 2021. It's not a joke. We are actually here. And yes, I was playing Bob Marley, the One Love, One Blood, and Ted said it perfectly, right? He came back to the meeting and he saw Eric, Elena, Howard, and myself dancing. Like, what's going on? And then he started dancing, and so did, Crystal, which is amazing. Great. So we're here. Thank you all for being here. I'll do a roll call really quickly. President Vijay Ramjan, I'm here. First Vice President Barbara Williams, excused. Second Vice President Elena Amanova.
Here.
Recording Secretary Erica Cooper.
Present.
Treasurer Andy Meadows King.
Here.
Thank you, Andy. Members Ted Chang.
Here.
Member Michael Morrison.
Here.
Members Robert Tamayev. He's here, but he said he can't speak.
I'm here. No, I'm home now. I'm here.
All right, yay, Robert is here. Okay. Members Howard Pollack.
Present.
And member Rajwinder Kaur.
Present.
Excelente. Thank you all so much for being here. To all the other members who have joined us tonight, we want to thank you all for being here. Council members, are we okay with BB being able to talk, speak during the meeting? We good with that? Council members, anyone object?
Of course.
Okay, no one has answered. Yes, sorry, I assume your silence is yes. Thank you so much. We want to welcome interpreter Catalina. Can you please say 2 words, Catalina? Please go ahead.
Good evening. The following announcement will be in Spanish. Buenas noches a todos. Si desean escuchar esta llamada en español, por favor marque desde su teléfono al 347-966-4114 e ingrese el número de código 146-681-390. Repito, el número de conferencia es 146-681-390. Vamos a compartir esa información en el chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Catalina, for your wonderful service and always doing with a smile. We appreciate you. Thank you. And your whole team is wonderful. Thank you so much. At this time, we're going to go ahead and approve the minutes. Can you have the minutes up in the wall, on the floor, on the screen? And we can do that. So go ahead.
What are we trying to do,
So-
sir, Vijay?
Oh, I'm sharing my
Crystal doesn't
screen.
share the minutes, yes.
Okay. But you don't need any
Thanks,
special
Crystal.
permissions. Okay, good. It's fine.
So we got we have 3. March. Okay, so this is for Code of Conduct, March 2nd.
This is all the special meetings that we had, etc., correct?
Right.
I make a motion to approve the March 2nd minutes.
Okay, I second that.
Everyone for? Aye.
Guys,
Yes.
I was not aware that presence was required at a special meeting. I see that I'm not excused from a special meeting. My understanding was that it was required of us to be at the 1 monthly meeting per month. Am I wrong?
I think you're right, Micah. I think the absence.
I'd like Baby to answer the question, please. Baby, can you answer the question?
Hi, Micah is correct.
Okay.
His attendance is counted as a calendar meeting.
Okay.
So if
And
you
if he can
got,
attend a special meeting, he can attend a special meeting.
right,
So-
it was just the amount of meetings, as I said, was overwhelming. So
Mhm.
if you can just at some point change that to either an excused absence or I
But
guess,
we'll just put not present. How about that?
Or maybe you could put members present.
yeah,
And
because
so-
I see Robert had an excused absence. I did, at a couple of these meetings, I did say I just wasn't gonna come. So, I just don't want it sort of reflected that I just, left without telling anybody what was going on.
Okay, so can we just put members present? Because then that doesn't leave excuse or not excuse there.
That's fine with me.
Suggesting.
Yeah.
So So we can always bring this back for next month to approve them, or we can move this onto the side because they all have that, correct? Correct, Crystal?
We can approve them with that change.
Yeah, I think let's just do that.
Okay. Once
So we can
everyone
publish them.
go through them and just put that.
Okay.
Show the
It's a
next-
PDF, so she'll
Thanks,
need to do it
Micah.
offline.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you show the other month meeting, the other one? So this one, so March 4th, we good, right? Everyone approve? Yes, with that change? Yes?
That's the.
Yes.
No, we just did March 2nd. Now we're on to March 4th.
Okay, very good. March 4th now, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Love the screenshots.
You're right.
I make a motion to approve the March 4th minutes.
I second the motion.
Okay. And again, we're gonna do the same thing with the change of the members present, correct?
No, this one's an actual calendar meeting, but
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
there
the
was
March-
one,
This
Yeah,
is
but there was-
March 4th meeting.
but it was an excused absence apparently.
Okay, perfect. Then we go to the next bylaws meeting. There it is. And this was a special meeting. Yes, right?
Right.
And we'll make that change again on top. That says members present.
This one doesn't need to be changed. This one only shows the members who are present.
Correct.
Mhm.
I make a motion to approve the bylaws committee meeting for March 16th, the minutes for that meeting.
I approve. I second. Anyone else?
So all in favor of approving these minutes, I guess, with the changes we talked about? Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Good.
Approved.
Thank you. So now we're gonna move on to the second item on the agenda. We have the vote on a resolution opposing anti-Asian violence and requesting more education on racism. So today we had it presented, and then we're gonna take a vote on it now. Any other members have any questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Going once?
VJ,
Yes?
we're going to vote on the anti-Asian racism resolution that was spoken about earlier in our calendar meeting, correct?
That is correct.
I just very briefly want to say how troubling this is in terms of the rise of anti-Asian hate going on, not in just the city, but in the country. Asians and Pacific Islanders are being cruelly just hurt both physically and mentally. It's discouraging. It's just depressing. It's hurtful. Speaking as representative of a race that experiences other forms of racism, I want to say that, and I think I could speak for everyone here, that we stand in the Asian community against this sort of hatred, bigotry, and violence that is occurring against the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. We need it to stop. We just need it to stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Howard, anyone else?
Thank you, Howard, for those words.
Okay, so let's move, now we're gonna vote to pass the resolution. Well, no, we're gonna vote on the resolution. Sorry there. So I'll just call you and you guys tell me how you vote. VJ in favor, yes. Barbara is not here. Elena Amenova? Is that a yes?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Erica Cooper?
In favor.
Andy Midas King?
Yes, I'm in favor.
Ted Chang?
Yes, resounding yes.
Micah Morrison?
Yes.
Robert Tamayev?
Yes.
Howard Pollock?
Yes.
Rajwinder Kaur?
Yes.
Thank you. I like saying your last name, Carr. It takes Carr. Yes, resolution passed, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, and so council members, what happens to this resolution after? Yes, give yourself a round of applause. Yes, we did great. What happens to this resolution? It's sent across the city to various platforms, to community boards, to all the principals, to all the elected officials, to all the DOE personnel. And importantly, also, we sent to FACE and our CC, our FACE liaison, BB Madeline, who they have a special division that looks after and takes care of the resolutions. And then, maybe what happens next? Are they going to send us a reply, a letter, confirming something or saying, yes, we acknowledge this? What happens next?
It depends on what the resolution is about. So some resolutions is just showing that the council take a stance, what is the position in a particular subject, as in this one that you have just adopted. And then there are others, as you have seen in the past, where you've sent resolutions on gifted and talented, and then you get a response from, Deputy Chancellor Wallach and his team, or another one where it was about the Diwali and the chancellor answered that at the town hall. So it all depends on what the resolution is and what the council wants from it.
Thank you. How can we get this to all the newspapers? I want us to be like really across the platform, the Queen's Chronicle, the this, the that. Crystal, can we look into all the news? Because we're supposed to also send them some kind of notification for our meetings also, like to announce our meetings to these media outlets. So if you could also have, maybe that's going to be a little homework to do from now till next meeting, but also have this resolution go out to all the media outlets, because we want to raise awareness also. Passing a resolution is the first step. We did it. Great. Second step is to bring awareness and to really have this resound across the district on our CEC's position on racial, crimes and Asian hate, etc. Thank you so much, everyone.
Vijay, if I may just add 1 second, what we're working on also is a place to hold all council's resolution on the DOE website. That way, if parents from the community would like to see a specific council and what resolutions they have adopted, they can go to a central location. So we're working on that behind the scenes. And I think that would allow for the public to know what has been adopted, what is your position, what actually you are voicing on behalf of community. And that is not just 28, but across the city. So once that's done, we'll share it. Yep.
Thank you. And to all other council members and all other committees that we have on board, please feel free to start writing resolutions. Like I wrote a Diwali one, very simple. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Just we want to hear your thoughts. We want to hear your feelings. So if you feel passionate about something and the parents are telling you about these things, please, let us do resolutions. This is our way of leaving our mark behind, right? And standing for different things beyond just saying what we feel at meetings, right? And again, the way I always ask you all to do this is just really include all of us, right? And see who else wants to be co-sponsors. I'm learning too, right? And we all do it together. So to all other committees, let's start developing something like this on topics that we think we should have. For example, the back to school reopening, summer school, G&T. We're gonna have all these things we can talk about, yeah? Okay, next thing, vote on the final, well, we're not voting, so can we share the drafts of the bylaws now, the final draft that we'll be putting up to voting next month? Can we have this shared on the screen, please? And I know BB, you and your team had give us feedback, which is a meeting that you, Rajwinder, and Ted attended, but everyone else was invited. We went over the bylaws pieces, and the whole goal was to make it more parent friendly, especially when it comes to the language. So if you guess, everything else is fine. It's just that specific part is what we wanted to go over today in this meeting, and that's it. Ted?
All right, so yeah, here it is up on the screen now.
Okay, you want to go down to the area where we had the change?
Yeah, okay, this is kind of the clean copy, but I can kind of, point a few things out, and if anyone remembers, help me out. I think it was mostly down towards the bottom.
It's the part where we had the code of conduct and the public engagement, that part that BB and her team took back to their office to give us advice on, just that specific part.
Yeah.
Because everything else was agreed upon already.
Yeah, so here, just like, for example, you know, defining what an alleged violation is, we just tried to write it in a little bit more clear language, you know, where an alleged violation is where someone believes that, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then we tried to clear up the language on who an involved party is, just to make it a little more readable. An involved party is the complainer who has already been harmed, who has actually been harmed by the alleged violation, and two, the complainee. You know, this paragraph, which was clarified to, you know, if a personal attack occurs during a meeting, then pursuant to Article 9, which is the article that says that we use Robert's rules, pursuant to Article 9, a council member may raise a point of order or question of order over the alleged violation, and the presiding officer may rule on it. Just slight tweaks in the language just to make it a little more clear, like what is supposed to happen. Let's see, which other changes were there? I think this section down here, there were disciplinary. This whole thing was kind of just so I think in the final warning process, we just kind of tried to clarify that, like, okay, you know, you had to agree to the warning and then you had to comply with it. I think we just tried to clarify the language that, you know, if that doesn't work out, then the council just has to decide what to do, you know, ask the complainee to undergo a leadership training module from FACE, you know, lose their officer positions, or some other council solution on the matter, like voting on a resolution. And then here in this paragraph, there was kind of again, a clarification of language that, you know, because sometimes, you know, people don't necessarily cooperate with the process that we've outlined here. So we just tried to clarify what's going to happen in that case. So if the person who's complaining rejects any of these processes, like they fail to accept an invitation to a mediation meeting, then the complainer is waiving their complaint. And then if the person who the complaint is made against, the complainee, rejects any of these processes, like they fail to accept an invitation to a mediation meeting, then they're waiving their right to use that mediation meeting to resolve the issue. So those were some of the tweaks. You know, down here, I think we changed this language. And we said, it is acceptable to ask people to be thoughtful about the role of identity, such as discussing privilege, advantages, and biases, but participants shall not direct a negative comment. It's just some clarification of language just to make it clear what we're saying. I think there was, I used the word doxing in the prior version, and I think some people felt that doxing was not, you know, it's kind of a new word. Not everyone knows what doxing is. So I said, participants shall not publicly disclose or discuss in negative ways the personal information, work information, or information about the family of other participants. So, you know, that's most of the changes. I don't, you know, I don't recall any other ones. There might have been some minor ones, but those are the main ones. Basically, just sort of like making the language a little bit more parent friendly so that they don't have to sit there and try to figure it out.
Thank you, Ted. So members, this is the final version of the bylaws that this council have came up with. Of course, we know the next council coming up next year will also could very much say, we don't like this bylaw, that they created for us. Let's wipe it all out and do it all over again, which is their power, right? So at this point, does anyone have any other comments, questions, concerns about the current bylaws as it's written right now? This was sent out via email also, so everyone had a chance to review it and see it. So we shouldn't be discussing the details. I can go back. You all should have come with questions to this meeting already, if you have any, because now we want to have this over here and then next time have it out in the public meeting to be voted on. The floor is open.
I have no changes or correction that's needed. It's fine.
Anyone else?
I'm here.
Anyone else? Okay, so Bibi, do I just do a quick vote on this here, or do we present it next meeting again and then vote at the business?
You have to present it at the calendar meeting, and
Okay.
then vote, because you've presented these at
Yes.
the other calendar, right? So you take a vote
Yes.
in April.
Well, we did it
I
at
mean, May.
the special meetings.
Did you present, Ted, did you talk about this today?
I talked about it very briefly and I posted a link to the new final
Yeah.
bylaws. So
So you can adopt.
we've officially presented the
To the
new
public.
bylaws in writing to the public at the April calendar meeting.
Right, so you are now able to adopt at your May meeting.
Perfect.
If the council, of course, that will be positioned to the council to take a vote.
Yeah, so at this point, no one had any comments about the bylaws, so now we can move forward with that and approve them at the next meeting. And Crystal, when we put out the notices for the next meeting, we'll also include the link for this in our meeting.
Yeah, and add to the agenda that you will be adopting
Yes.
bylaws.
Right, perfect. Okay, great job. Revisiting G&T Town Hall meeting. So we had a gentleman here from today who spoke about G&T in brief. He provided all the information that we think we need to know. My idea of the G&T meeting had to be deal with comments and public feedback, right, to us as a council, because we got some pushback the last time about the letter that went out from CEC28 about its stance on G&T. I thought that letter was okay only because it provided both views of the entire district, right? While there are many views, that letter that went on last time had both views. So the idea that came out of that last transaction was that we should have a town hall that we provide a platform for the community to come and give the council. We listen to their feedback, and we have also, other stakeholders, other presenters, that Dr. Pate might be there, Dr. DeGovaya will be there, and others who we were trying to get to be present at that town hall where the community speaks. Literally, it's for them to speak. We want to give feedback, right? So my thoughts would be like to have someone like Elena, who had wrote the part about those who wants G&T to remain the way it is, to present very quickly about why, present your case more or less, right? And then Ted, who had wrote about what the other view of G&T, to present briefly also on both. So it's not a dry meeting, we have a nice presentation. Here's what it is. Here's the two views. Public, watch your comments. And then we, the council, meet and we agree on this is what the community is saying. Because what we personally think at this point is not what we should be putting in the letter. It's what the community, because that's what we represent, the community. And then we should incorporate a new letter as feedback as a DOE is reconsidering, rethinking, and remapping how they're going to do G&T or whatever they call it going forward. Anyone has any different ideas, any comments, any questions, concerns, ideas?
Well, I guess my question or concern is just like how I don't know. I mean, I guess we're sort of bumping into the same issues that we had over the letter, which is that like we have a lot of different perspectives in the district. And I think I'm definitely in favor of letting people air their perspectives. I'm a little bit, where it starts to sort of be a little bit difficult for me is when we know that there are really different perspectives out there. Then how do we incorporate that into a singular voice? Because I mean, the way I felt like the way that we did it in the letter was a way of doing it where we didn't quash anyone's voice. But I kind of feel like, if we how would we, determine what the voice is, and then we sort of run into those issues that like, oh, it depends on who showed up at the meeting, it depends upon who knew about them, things like that. And
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm just wondering how we would address that.
No, thank you. So one of the things that we did not do for the last letter was we didn't have a public engagement meeting. That's flat out straight. We did not have that. So this meeting is to address that. If the letter we send out again is the same exact thing, then that's so be it. But the fact that we give the public a chance to air their opinions is what we stand for. So we skipped that point, right? And we didn't do that last time because we had the deadline to get it out, and we wanted to rush it out through the doors, and we got it out. So this time around is we will listen. And the families and parents across the district said, you all never had a platform for us to give our opinions. So we will listen to those opinions. And then we never say, but we had more people said this, so that the letter should say that. No. We as a council will agree, these are the points. And if we list, whereas parents said this, whereas a parent said that, whereas a parent said, and really give all the points. If it has to be 5 pages long, we do it. The point is to really put down all the parents' concerns in a consolidated version. If 5 parents' concerns were about the one topic, we could summarize that as a council and say, parents spoke about this. So we could make a good decision. The letter, Ted, I'm trying to say is should not be what one group, one people, one side says. It will reflect the results of the town hall, what in its true essence.
I mean, that makes sense. So if I'm understanding correctly, we could kind of take the format that we had from the letter, but we could just make it bigger and longer and include more ideas and, depending on what people say at the meeting.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I say let's go to this town hall with a blank slate. Let's go there with that. Let's get that information first. And then at that point, we as a council will say, okay, well, this is what we heard. And I think we'll be more informed and better aligned to really sit down and make a very clear decision of how this letter should be written. And I really want the council voice in this because this is going to be the D28's community feedback to the DOE for this GNT or whatever they want to call it in the future. Okay, so the last format for me was fine because it showed both perspectives, right? And it had both sides. What this is going to look like going forward, I think let's have the meeting first, and then we can determine that once that town hall is held.
And what is the specific GNT topic that we're going to talk about? Is it GNT admissions for this year, or is it GNT
the
for the future?
GNT the future, because what we know is they're not going to continue with GNT as it is, right? How we know it. So we have advocates who saying GNT should be this way. And then we have those who say, we don't want GNT. We don't want this. So we want to hear both sides. So the DOE wants to consider community engagement and voices. We want to provide that. So how do we give our voices to this situation? Through a town hall, we get that information. Fair enough?
Yep. And if somebody chooses not to come, I mean, that's their choice, right?
No.
We want to do the right marketing though as well.
Yeah. Our job is to provide a platform, right? That's what our job is as CECs to do, to provide that platform. But from the council, we can provide information, right? So Elena, you can put the pro, and then Ted can show why, or other members, Erica, Ted, Micah, whoever wants to speak on about if you are for or you're against or you're in middle ground. Show all perspectives, council members. Bring your voice to the table and say how you feel about it. I will definitely want to give each council member a chance to say before the public speaks. Before the public speaks, all council members will state what they think about GNT, and then that will also be taken into consideration too, right? And then we have the public speak. At the end, we have Dr. Pickle speak, Dr. DeGovaya, whoever it is, the panelists, and then we, shift and sift all that information into where it falls, and then we see where it falls.
You got it.
What kind of timing are we thinking about for a town hall, like dates?
Dates, I thinking soon, because remember school gonna close, right? And summer is coming and it's getting warmer. So now we're in April, May. I think maybe June. June is like too late, right? What do you guys think? June is too late?
Too late. Too late.
Too late, right? So what about if you all think like a week before our meeting? The Thursday before our meeting. So our next meeting, or
29th.
I'm looking at the calendar right now. Our meeting, the next meeting, will be
The 6th, May 6th.
So, right, so how about April? So how about if we do the 22nd or the 29th? Thursday, because that what happened is we have to give enough notice to our panelists to gauge their availability. So I would love to have that gentleman, Daniel, something that his name is, to come back, Dr. Pate, you know, and we'll work with BB to get different people from DOE to be present. But if they can't come, they can't come. The point is we're doing what we have to do. That's what's important here. So all in favor of the 22nd or the 29th?
Which month are we talking about?
This month.
April. We want to have it before our May meeting.
I'm good with both dates.
Anyone can't make it? Okay, I'll choose a date. The 22nd. Anyone cannot make it that day or have a really deep aversion to that day?
The 22nd, I have listed as D28 candidate forum.
I'm gonna say that. That's your candidate forum at 6 o'clock.
Oh, so I got an invite for Friday.
Me too.
Yeah, the candidates are split up. You have 2 forums.
We're on the same forum.
So that week is not good. And then the following week.
The 29th? Anyone is not available on the 29th? Erica, you were saying something, we couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying that it's not good that week if that's the candidate week.
Because we are getting prepared, right? We're getting prepared.
Right. So
When
not
are
a good week.
when are the actual elections, BB?
The voting period starts May 1st
And it goes all month, or how long does it go?
through the 11th.
May 1st
You
through.
want to do this before or after the elections?
So here we go. You get a
It's just-
chance to talk to the whole community on this
I want to do it before elections.
before elections. That's what I'm saying. The 29th. Let's do the 29th, Thursday the 29th.
Good for me.
Good.
Okay.
Thumbs down, thumbs sideways, I don't care.
What's the topic? What's the topic for town hall?
GNC.
It's a
People is totally
GNT
off.
D28 feedback. We'll come up with a fancy name, but it's
All right.
our
Okay.
district giving us feedback to the DOE about what we think, our constituents think GNT should look like going forward in the future.
To GNT or not to
GNT.
GNT?
Are
The
you
GNT
on this
or
on
not the
this
GNT?
on this GNT town hall? Is this a Q&A or a listening session where you're just
Both.
taking feedback?
No Q&A too much because it's more or less like the vent. We want to hear, not vent. We want to hear our community voices about what they,
It's a listening session,
it's a, not really
sort of.
listening. Well, it's
Yeah,
a
because you're listening to what they're
community
offering.
engagement,
Mhm. Okay.
something like that.
So I got an email about a gifted and talented virtual information session beginning on March 18th.
That's about
Were you
them
guys aware
telling
of
the
this?
people what to do, what to apply, when's the test date.
Ah, okay, so that's
doing
different.
that.
Okay.
We are doing more, the first CEC, not the first, to do this whole thing about sending a letter into the DOE saying, as you're considering replanning GNT, here's our feedback.
Is DOE doing anything in terms of collecting feedback from the public? Anybody knows?
They say they were going to do that, but of course, we don't know when and why and how, right? We don't know. We just
Right.
don't know. So we may have to do another one, but
I think
at least get
I
started.
think their plan is like after the school year is over, like going in maybe next year is when they were planning on doing their feedback.
That's correct. Right now, it's informing parents about GNT and the application process and what that would look like for this year. And then we will be doing some engagement series, including parents and other, community advocates to reimagine what GNT would look like. In the
When
years.
do they plan to do that? Next year?
We don't have any dates yet.
Exactly.
Right now, we're focusing on getting the chancellor out to the boroughs to talk about reopening.
So the thing is this, us as a council, as we are now, who depending who gets reelected, who doesn't get reelected, we may not get a chance to give our input on this if we wait till next year, right? So I strongly think this is something that we told our parents we will do. So who is not available on the 29th? Okay, so we're all available. Beautiful. So mark your calendars, Crystal. We'll have a special town hall and community engagement on reimagining GNT.
And I guess another question is like, so if we do, let's say we do this town hall, we gather feedback. we probably have to have some sort of a, you know, a business meeting of some sort to like process the feedback and write and, or I don't know how you want to
So
do
on
that.
on that Tuesday when we have our check-in with BB, maybe we could do it on the, because we're already meeting already. We can just extend it a half hour or so to, you know, or we don't have to have a letter right. The letter doesn't have to happen out right away, right? We can still wait till our meeting on the 6th and discuss this.
Okay, so we'll discuss at the next meeting how we're going to formulate the letter.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah, you can strategize at my check-in.
All right.
That's how you frame that. We can strategize at the check.
But we have to check in first.
We didn't have one this week, right?
You work with us?
Yes, we did. We were strategizing about bylaws
What?
Yes.
I didn't get the invite.
at the prior check-in.
So we go with that, and we have many more times. If we take the whole month of April or May to finalize a letter, we do it. But the point is, we'll have information to put a nice letter together, and we're not going to rush this one. We sit down and we make sure everyone is on board before we send it out. Fair enough? Well, as best as we can. Okay. Next item is Crystal. You and I will work on panelists together with BB and getting those dates out for everyone. All right.
Right.
All part of strategizing, yeah.
Strategizing. Okay. I had a wild idea. There's another item on this agenda here, a wild idea of we always highlight our council members. We also have parents in our district that really show up every meeting, who really is, you know, really standing up there and really being leaders as parents, even though they're not on the CEC, right? And it could be, so my idea was first how we had like gotten citations from the various officials in our district. What about if CEC28 highlights how many of us are there? 10 of us. We all nominate one parent that we think is a leader in the district that we feel deserves to be recognized. And all you gotta do is say is like, okay, I nominate BB, for example, as a parent in the district, and she'll be my person that I nominate. Why? Here's why. And then CEC creates this little certificate, a little award thingy, and then we could present to the families. Why? I think highlighting and encouraging parents to come to our meetings is important. We saw a very big rise in parent involvement. I had principals writing to me and saying they have never been so excited about CEC forever than now. Parents writing all the time and saying they can't wait for the next CEC meeting. But we want to encourage that, right? We want to encourage the parents' involvement, participation, and presence. And I want to bring the idea here to hear what you all think about what this idea of really, you know, because at the end of the year school celebration for the CECs, we usually give out awards and plaques and this, but we can't do that right now. But what do you all think?
That's a great idea. I mean, if each one of us is nominating, it's not even nominating, it's recommending, right? Because that person that we nominate is actually getting a certificate. And so
I agree with Erica. Sorry, I agree with Erica. I think and with VJ, it's a very nice idea. I assume that the awards and citations will come from the entire CEC,
yes,
not the nominator, right? Yeah, yes. I think it's a very smart idea to involve the parents.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone?
I'm going to nominate somebody on the CEC.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
I nominate your birds. Okay. They're always present. Anyone else? Anyone opposed to it? No. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'll work with Crystal. We'll get a date, okay? And we'll say by this date, submit your one person you want to nominate to receive a CEC award certificate, right? And it's going to be, we'll go online and steal one of those, designs, and then we'll fill it in nice and beautiful. And it's not going to be nothing crazy because our budget is our budget. And then we will do this from the CEC where we acknowledge them. I think it's going to be a great gesture. And then you, the nominator, will tell that person to attend a meeting on that day. So what I want for our June business meeting, for example, we can do this, right? At our June business meeting, we set aside to just acknowledge parents in our community, and that would be great. I don't think we should acknowledge principals, because then how can you choose one over the other, right? It's really kind of unfair.
Maybe we could email them a hard copy. I mean, mail them a hard copy of the certificate.
Who's that? The parents?
The parents who
Oh, most definitely.
receive it, nice something they could really.
Yeah, so they could like frame it up, put it up, make it very beautiful and nice, So yay. Okay, great, awesome.
Hey, VJ, I remember we got some certificates that you showed us on the screen from one of the.
Them.
You have them?
Yes, I have them, but I'm keeping them only because I don't want to let you guys know, but there's more. So there are more.
You want to save on stamps, you mean?
No. I was gonna send
not enough money in the budget.
Sell 2 of Robert's birds. I'm gonna get some. I was
Crystal,
thinking
do you
of
mind helping BJ with stamps?
I was thinking of really putting them all together in one envelope and mailing it to you together. But we have some more of those that we are working very hard to get, because it's important what we're doing, all of us. And then I'll mail all together with you at the end. But also the same day of awards and ceremonies for the parents, I will present all the others to you guys also. Sounds good?
Sure. I didn't mean to burst the bubble.
Just remember, I'm leaving to move to Florida, so just please.
I'll mail it to you down there. I'll hand deliver it
Thank
to you.
you.
When you invite me, I'm coming to do it for you personally.
Doesn't matter if you mail in New York or Florida, it's still 40-something cents.
No, we're gonna FedEx it to you guys. Do it nice, because we don't want it to get smushed up. So nice and big envelope, and get it out to all of you.
Ooh, I guess we don't have budget limitations, huh?
P card. So end of year celebration. So every CC usually, so when I was on the CC before this cycle, we had an end of year celebration. So now questions to all of you. I'm not sure how feasible this will be. If it cannot be, whatever. Usually there will be food and soft drinks, and we have a whole budget to do all these things. Usually, we're not in usual times, okay? Hold on one second.
Barbecue in the park with CEC28 new masks.
No mask.
You got a P card.
We accept delivery.
We accept delivery. Okay. I lost my thought. So yeah, end of year celebration. What do you all think? Do you all think is we can do this? We cannot do this? One thing we can do possibly is have like schools produce something, and then we do a virtual thing where they show. Because what we did in the past was, when you have the end of year celebration, we'll have schools across the district come together, and they'll do a dance, they'll do a song, their musical band will perform a song, whatever it is, right? So what we could do is we can reach out to our district, they know of this, and say, hey, how can you provide us a video, a 5 to 7 minutes video, 3 to 5 minutes video of something from your school for the end of year celebration. Is it too much? Is it too risky? Are we asking them to break laws and all that stuff? I want to hear your feedback about that idea. Nothing has been said, nothing has been stated. It's about us, our feedback.
Well, for them to put something together like a dance or a singing thing, they would have to get together in person. Mm-hmm. The other option would be for them to do like a virtual sing-along type of thing. And I've seen music classes that do that but there's a lot of work that goes into that. So it's kind of like asking them to do a lot of work to like do sound editing, to like put everyone's audio onto the same track. So, but and I don't know if the schools have the resources to do that, but.
Yeah, sure. Any others?
I'd love to hear from BB as to what other CECs might be doing regarding this, just to get some idea of what our options might be.
Howard. Let's see. Some councils they partner with the schools. They do different things. Example 29's had a press event. They have done a history fair event. They're doing a science fair event. You know, they order awards, they mail them. They have children submit their work, teachers judge them. They have, I guess, different advocates from the community come in and judge these, judge the children's work. They pick winners. They post them up on their website. So they get all creative. Like some folks get creative in doing the end of year celebration, but somehow it all ties back to partnering with the schools and recognizing the kids.
Yes.
And any way you can uplift that, I think that would be a great opportunity to get parents involved, get educators involved, and just have this big show, so to speak. Go out with a bang.
Howard, response?
Sorry. I think it's a great idea to partner with the schools and recognize perhaps individual children within the schools with the CEC award, and give them certificates if we could, have them. You know, I think we need to flush this out a little bit more. I'd be happy to serve on a committee to examine this, come up with some ideas and present it to the board.
Sure. So the idea would be, the first thing to see, even if we have this, will be to create a committee, like you said, like Howard said, to say a committee for the end of year celebration, right? And then the next step will be to email, just throw a hook out, see what are the principals' feedback, how are they thinking about it, and see if they have the ability, like Ted was saying, to even come up with something. But I think also it might give them a chance to really become very creative and really come up with something that we never expected, right? Or maybe they have a video of an old performance, whatever the case may be. So let's, can we form a committee to start looking into this? All who wants to be in the committee to do the end of year celebration, please don't all raise your hands at once. Howard, VJ, anybody else? Anyone else?
Yeah, please don't answer at once.
Yes.
You're welcome to invite me to your meetings.
Thank you.
I want BB.
Okay, we're a committee of 2. Howard, we got this. Okay, we'll start off at 2. We'll recruit more. I promise we will. Okay, so we'll get.
Sorry, what are you making this committee for?
The end of year celebration for the schools, to like really find out and see if we can really have an end of year celebration to get the kids to present or to perform and have a celebration.
So you have to make first a committee, and then we have to consult the principals. Then that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
I told you to recruit. We have 3. Anybody else? Ted, did you raise your hand? Or was it a thumbs up?
That was a thumbs up.
Sorry. And Elena, did you raise both hands or one hand?
One leg.
Okay. What about Robert? Did you raise both hands or one hand? Andy?
She said
how many hands
leg.
did you raise?
She raised the
Erica?
leg.
Can I raise half a hand?
Micah? Okay.
That's very nice of you, VJ.
We are watching. Okay.
She gets a pass. She's pregnant.
Imagine
exactly. Thank you, VJ.
Excellent. Okay, good. Rajwinder, VJ, and Howard, we got this. We'll have a little we'll talk. Fair enough? Excellente. All right. We have treasurer's report. Anything to report? Andy made us king, or I know, Crystal, you've been dealing with a lot of this stuff. Anything to report on the treasurer side?
Nothing right now, no.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing right now.
Thank you, Andy. Old business. Oh, congratulations to Andy. His daughter is what she did. She's an Olympic runner now. She did something. Tell us, Andy.
No, she's
on the flyer.
She's ranked number 4, 5, and number 4 for the 400. She's ranked number 5 for the 800 and number 6 for the 200 in the country for her age group. And she has been used as the USATF poster girl for the outdoor season upcoming youth development program for track and field.
We are proud of her, but we are more proud of you for motivating and pushing her and getting that going. Andy, congratulations.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Andy. All right, old business. We had to talk about the council's reaction to the incident that happened in January 2nd meeting. I know this to follow up on what has happened. I have reached out to Micah via email, and Micah responded via email about his response towards that incident, that he no longer wants to engage in any discussion about it. We as a council, that was our next steps on that topic, to say that let's email Micah and ask him what's the next steps, about our next steps. And I did what you all asked. We got a response from Micah. So at this level, now that we have our new bylaws, well, once we have our bylaws in May, we had agreed that we'll use the bylaws recommendations that we agreed upon on how to further, if we want to continue this discussion. I open the floor to everybody at this time.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
No, listen, I'm going to have to go soon. It's almost 9:30. I got to catch a subway. Whatever you decide is fine. This, my view is that, VJ, you should have settled this immediately. You should have swiftly acted if that was a rebuke from me, and demand an apology to Howard or acknowledge Howard, whatever it was, that should have been done. My view, and the whole thing is just dragged on way too long. So whatever you decide is fine. Secondly, I don't think you can make a bylaw and make it retroactive. So again, I think you're going to just need to, and I'm fine with that. You're going to need to issue a ruling. This whole thing, I've been very patient and listened to the bylaws committee and all that. To me, it's just, it's we should be having a debate. It's an overarching kind of nanny state. We have to go have a meeting with a facilitator and do this and that. Whereas if you felt I was out of line, you should have said so immediately. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But again, I don't think you can retroactively enforce the law.
I'll let the response. I did ask you to apologize on the day off, right? And you did.
I did.
And after the fact, or via email, it went on more and more again. Then via my response, my email to you about, I think I did. I said, Micah, this is the situation. Let's have a special meeting, because at our meeting, Micah, that's exactly what we decided. That Erica requested us when she was speaking, that we should have you present when we talk about this, so we could just move forward on it. So we want to resolve this way ahead, way back in January, February month. But then you responded you are not going to engage in any conversations about that.
No, I feel it's just sort of like political re-education. Howard and I, or let me just say the member and I know you got what you the member and I had a very strong political disagreement. For you guys to get in there and, sort of harass me and badger me while I've already said, I apologize, that really smacks of political re-education, with some of the members here who have, come from countries where they engage in things like that, they object to. And also this whole idea, because a member and I disagree, you have to call in a facilitator. I mean, for God's sake, I object to that. So that's why. Plus, I got two kids we all got kids, we got things to do to get, I just felt if we went into that meeting, it would just grow more and more heated, as I said. And I think the best thing, and I'm sticking with that, the only reason I'm doing it now is because you brought it up, is, I just did not feel that was the correct way to go. And I still feel that way.
Others? Any others?
Well, just to bring this to a resolution.
Before I go on, I personally, I think this whole fiasco should be put to rest and never brought her back again. That's because we even though we would have agreed to a lot of stuff, we're still going on and on and on and on and on. And I just think it is a time for this here to be put to rest. And if he apologized, he apologized. If there's any consequences, he says he's going to go by that. I think we're old enough, we're grown enough to settle it once and for all, and whatever decision we come up with, and just end it and just let's move on. I mean, this thing I've been repetitively just coming up and taking up some unnecessary time where we have time to do, and then we're all busy at that. So I think this should put to rest. If it's not tonight, I mean, it should not come back up tonight after now, and that's just my thought.
Thank you, Andy. Ted?
No, I think at the outset of Micah's comments, he said that he had expressed a willingness to sort of, apologize again, or, sort of abide by whatever we thought was best. So, I mean, I think, like, maybe if you just sort of sincerely sort of express, I mean, I think the more denials that are sort of like responses to the process, that's kind of not going in the direction that people want to hear. And I think if you did just sort of express more regret and apologies now, maybe that would just sort of settle the issue for everyone. So, but I'll leave it up to you. I really don't know what others want, but that my sense is that might be enough.
Well, let me say one thing also about, if I may. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
About my silence. I feel that, again, there was a very, my life's work is spirited arguments and yelling. So I felt, and I'm from a Jewish family where we yell a lot, and I know other members are, and I did apologize. Now, what really disturbed me, and what I thought was another reason why I should stay silent, I'm going to be careful about what I say here, is that there were members who had other family members present, and those family members were upset by this. And I don't believe in involving family members, and I was taken aback, and I felt bad that other family members were upset about this. And again, I felt that, and I apologize for that. That's what really kind of took me aback. And so I figured the best thing I could do was to keep my mouth shut and, not engage in this.
Okay. Others? Anyone else?
I think we need to move forward.
Is just a clarification point. Yes. I don't think there was a political argument. I just gave a report based upon what I'd heard at a meeting, and that was it. There was no. That was it.
Okay. Elena, you were saying something?
Yeah, I just said that I think we need to come together and find a way to move forward.
Okay. Erica, anybody else? Erica Rajwinder?
Let's move forward. That's it.
Okay. Erica, Robert? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Just to, like I said, time has passed. This stuff should have been addressed way back when. And Mike, I wish that you would have just joined the meeting so we could have put it to rest. And now that so much time has passed that, there's nothing else to do but to move forward. I mean, we're coming to the end now. So that's
Okay.
it.
Robert, anything to add?
So I respect both members, and I've said what needed to be said before. It went too far, but everyone's right. I mean, this has gone on way too long. I think it's time to move forward and talk about more pressing matters. But I think that this just can't repeat. That's the bottom line. And that's what needs to be in kind of in everyone's head, not just whatever you want to blame, but all of us, all 10 of us need to know that this was this embarrassment, not for one or two people, but really for everybody here. So we have to make sure this doesn't happen again. I think Erica said it about the chat earlier, like think before we speak. And if it even might offend someone, put it down, like just let it go and move on. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Robert. So I will end this. I also feel the same way, Micah. Like I said, I wanted to get this ended way back then. And really, we wanted to have you present here. That's all it was. That's to speak of. That's to like put it to rest, right? So I would like this to happen going forward. I would like this any apologies on any side, right? Just to happen today. And then after this, we do not talk about it via email or any other platform. Then it's done and we put it to rest. Secondly, I would like us to understand that we are having these meetings at our homes. Our children are present. Our partners, parents, friends, whoever are present in these rooms with us. And no one wants to be appeared to being bullied or to be a victim of any sort. Even if we may not think that is, our kids will say, Daddy, why is she talking to you like that? Daddy, why is that? You know, we have to be cognizant of that we're not in a bubble. Right? And knowing this and understanding this, I think both members of our council, Howard and Micah, you're passionate about what you do. You're passionate about children, about this community. So I want to encourage spirited, safe discussions, but let's all know when, okay, well, we're crossing the line now. But also let's agree, if this has ever happened in the future again between any members, if I say you're out of order or another member say you're out of order, then we stop immediately. And we don't overtalk over the other person and continue on over the same thing. That's what I'm asking.
If I may talk over you for a minute. What I did, I do this from my office. So I am not at home. And I do want to, as I apologize to the member for immediately for getting heated. But what I did not realize is that there were members with other family members there. And I need to be more cognizant of that. And again, I apologize for that. And again, that was one of the reasons why I felt it was best to remain silent. So I understand from Robert's Rules of Order, you're not supposed to directly address the members. You're supposed to talk to the president. So Mr. President, since I'm trying to follow Robert's Rules of Orders, I have a lot of respect for all the members, including the people I sharply disagree with. And I do apologize to the members who I offended and the members who I've argued with.
Thank you, Micah. Thank you. And council members, it's April 1st. We're moving forward.
This is not a joke, though.
Here's my email. I'm joking. Send, no. Okay, great.
BJ?
Yes.
Fair student funding meeting for
Yes. Tuesday, this Tuesday coming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get to that. Micah, thank you.
Okay.
Micah, we missed you. Micah, you are a member of our CEC here, and me as the president here, I want all voices in the room, and we have always agreed to disagree. And I thank you for saying what you said. I acknowledge that. All members acknowledge that, and I am very proud of you. And thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. Okay.
Now, I am at an office and they're closing it up. So if you guys are okay, if there's no vote, I'm going to leave.
There's no voting thing anymore. So we're done. We're done actually. Next Tuesday, fair student funding supposed to come they wanted to present this Tuesday at the meeting, but it's spring break. They couldn't be here. So we have to meeting next week, Tuesday, right, Crystal?
Okay.
That's right. 7:30.
7:30 for fair student funding. And we have to do that meeting with fair student funding for all of you to be here. Any new business?
Okay, I'm going to take off.
Bye-bye, Micah.
Okay,
Bye, Micah.
Bye, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you all.
I
Bye.
see your notes in your hand. All right. Any new business, anyone?
Well, no, I have old business. I don't know what happened to the laptops,
I know,
but
right?
Yeah.
keep it. And
Keep it.
it's by the time you get it to me, I will be gone.
Yes.
But just to follow up on that, because that's old business. I mean, they were paid, so
They were.
Yeah.
They were. And it had nothing to do with us. We handled everything we had to on our end. It's totally Lenovo. So, when I followed up with them, when I got one computer, and the 3 that I'm awaiting on, they said it's going to take another 2 weeks. And that was a week ago.
Annoying.
Yeah.
But Crystal, thank you. I know I've been talking to Crystal a lot about this on a every other week basis. About computers. So we've been on it. It's just that they're holding up a lot of stuff on their end, and our hands, we're done with the advocacy, our end from DOE, etc. So we get in there.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
Just wanted to follow up on that.
It's not us.
For a change, right?
No.
Anyone else? Old business?
Other old business was whatever happened with the thing for Paula.
So we have that thing. The money we are preparing. We also plan to invite her back on that award and ceremonies day kind of thing to come back. And while we can't give gifts to anybody, we give her a recognition from the CEC. So we're planning to use the money that how much we collected, Crystal?
100.
Oh, 100. So we are shopping around for something that will last forever that she can have for the same day. Is that fair?
Okay, that's fine. Just follow up.
And also we have maybe, we have to figure out which trip we could send her to Puerto Rico or
Been
to
there.
Lobster Fest or something,
He wants Australia or something, New Zealand.
or to New Orleans.
I know what you want.
Elena, your first baby gift is coming from me.
Our P card doesn't allow that, Elena. All right. Any new business? Anyone? New business?
I have a question, please,
Yes.
if I may.
Please.
You, Fair Student FSF, you're doing a special meeting in order for them to present to the community?
That's what they requested, right? Because they say it'll be too late to do it in May. Is that true, Crystal?
Yes, it would. So they requested to attend one of our calendar meetings. So since we couldn't do it, then it would be a special meeting. And they only need about 15 minutes to present, but it has to be a special meeting.
So why don't they come on May?
Their window is until April 23rd.
Is there anything written on stone? Maybe we can't say our members are overwhelmed with meetings. They can't make it here. We wouldn't have this coming in May 1st, May 6th, whatever.
So you have a calendar, right? And there are certain mandated meetings that have, not meetings, mandated presentation that must be presented to the community through the CEC. Fair Student Funding is one of them. SCA is another, right? C4E, Contract for Excellence, is another.
Right.
And so it's shocking to me that I just learned that FSF wants to come and present in a special meeting where public comment is not allowed, because the public has to have the ability to comment and ask questions on these presentations. They're meant for the public. They're not for CEC members, they're for the community. So I'm a little concerned about that, and maybe I can follow up with that email thread that's saying that they're not available and couldn't come this month, and they're meeting a deadline and can't come next month and requiring you to do a special meeting. That's a red flag for me.
Yes, and what's unfair is that they couldn't come because they were on spring break. Well, that's not our problem. It's not our problem. This is when our calendar meetings happens. They should have come in March.
DOE is not on spring break. We're working.
There you go, done.
Today's a working day. Can you send the email to me, please? Can you flag that, Crystal?
Yeah, sure.
So should we consider it not happening then? Let's not even put it out there.
Not sure. Let's follow up. Tomorrow is a holiday, but I can still look at the email tonight and see what's going on. Maybe I'll give you an answer.
I'd rather not have any special. I'd rather not have another special meeting. Honestly, we're just gonna have that one in for the gifted and talented, and that's it. I'd rather not have our members.
Yeah, these meetings can't happen as a special meeting because they need to be at a calendar meeting that allows for public comment where the superintendent is present.
Thank you. Members, anything else lastly before I close it off? Anybody? Please unmute, go for it.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
I third. I fourth. I fifth. All right.
Meeting's adjourned, everyone. Good night.
Have a good
night.
Meeting adjourned at the time now is 9:39 p.m. Have a good
night, everyone.
Here's a heart for meeting you. Happy Easter. Happy Easter.